2014.
14, yeah.
We're here to bring you the news about the competitive aspect of classic and arcade games. Of course, the roots of Twin Galaxies. So how's everybody doing? How you doing, Glenn?
I am doing fantabulous tonight.
Also, our guest tonight, Stephen Wagner. He's, I don't know if you're there on 3, Steve?
I'm here, sir.
Yes, a world record
right.
holder on multiple arcade games. I am blanking right now. Former world record holder on Bosconian. I know you have a perfect score in Monaco GP and Swimmer. I'm missing a few more.
Can't help you here.
And what are we playing tonight? It's blanking. We just talked about
Crazy
it.
Taxi?
No.
Elevator action.
Elevator action. I was thinking Load Runner for some weird reason. I don't know why. But we were just talking about. I'm looking at
it. Excite Bike or
exactly.
something.
Oh yeah, exactly. So, sorry about last week. We just had some technical problems, but we're doing great and grand here. So
yeah, about that on time and everything's working.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, you know.
yeah. So, what's going on this weekend, Glenn? Something probably nobody's watching our show because they're busy playing a certain game that we all know and sometimes get irritated with.
It's actually happening next weekend. The next weekend is the Donkey Kong Open. Anybody can sign up and participate. Sign up entry is on the Donkey Kong forums. All the best players in the world, well, most of them, are going to be playing. There is a $1,700 bounty to whoever can beat Hank Chin's world record on an actual arcade machine. Plus, there are numerous other bounties for like $50, $25, $100.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought you were going to say a $1,700 buy-in fee. I was like, what?
What?
Who's
No.
playing that?
It's arcade only, right?
Oh, I thought it was Nintendo.
No, it is MAME. MAME submissions are accepted in arcade. But you have to be
the big
playing.
bounty is for the arcade
only.
only.
And there's a handful of people that are within distance of getting that record. So it's going to be exciting to see who will be the first to beat Hank's record, if anybody.
I was going to say, will somebody? I mean,
Hank has a force field around that record. Last couple people were like thousands of points shy of breaking
no,
it.
and they magically, like, the game shut off, or soup got poured into the motherboard, or
no, that would be me destroying the Donkey Kong machines,
fulfilling your life's purpose.
Yeah, my life's purpose, basically like Shaq Fu.
Yeah, Shaq.
You guys know about Shaq Fu, right?
Oh yeah.
People are out there trying to destroy all the cartridges.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing it with Donkey Kong PCB boards, but I don't know.
You should. It would be a lot easier than Shaq Fu.
I don't know, dude. To get my hands on those, it costs me a lot more money. I mean,
Who's saying it's going to cost you money?
I could steal them.
Yeah.
I know.
I was gonna say, if you're going to break, if you're breaking them.
Actually, I do like Donkey Kong. I just prefer the way it's not for the world record, in my opinion. I know everyone's the chat's gonna blow up and say Michael is useless. Don't ever have him on the show again. But I don't like the point pushing on it. I beat the level, but that's just me. Obviously, I don't compete, and you guys are great players out there, and it's gonna be cool next weekend to watch it. So nobody will be watching our show next weekend because everybody will be competing in the. Is Mr. Tesler putting it on? Who puts it on?
Yes, Tesler and John Salter. But it's pretty much everybody at the Donkey Kong forums puts it on. They all help in and pitch in for bounties.
That's cool. So really, just go to that website and you can probably find all the people who are playing and registered and who are streaming. And anybody can register, right, Glenn? I think you already said that.
Yep. Anybody. Actually, after we do the show next weekend, I'm going to be competing in it. So.
Oh.
Who knows?
Nice.
Who knows? Maybe you'll be $1,700 richer. Oh no, you're not playing on a tape machine. That's right.
No, and I'm not capable of getting the world record, but it's just fun to play in a competitive nature like that with all your friends.
Yeah, and you just see where you rank for the weekend.
Yeah.
That's the fun part.
Oh, totally.
And everybody can do it from home. They don't have to travel, to an arcade, and that's what's kind of cool about it.
My goal is to beat the Allens. That's my goal. Get around 500,000 by next weekend.
Where were you getting the other night? 200, 300? I think
today I got 306, 200.
That's impressive. I've never gotten over 3,200 points in that game. Like, I'm not joking.
You've beaten the first board, right?
I don't think I've ever beaten the first board.
Oh, wow.
I hate that game.
Steve Sanders once told me if you could beat the first level the first 2 times you play the game, you could have a potential to get 1,000,000 points if you keep playing it.
Really?
Yeah. The very first, the first 2 times you played, if you can beat the first board, then you have the dexterity to do it. So. But that's what he says. He wrote a book and had a score of 3.2 million, but just kidding. Steve.
He's still the world record holder in my head.
Hey, I have been attempting to go.
Still my world record holder.
I've been streaming a lot lately, and that's been the title of my stream for my Donkey Kong stream.
What? Steve Sanders.
3.2 million attempts.
Oh, dude! The next time we go on a trip, we need to have a sign on your card that says 3.2 million or bust. Because only
or t-shirts.
Select few will get.
No, or just t-shirts.
Oh, that would be awesome too.
Or whatever, the Kong off 4. We just walk around the shirt.
Dude, we have
3.2 million or bust.
Oh, dude, we have to do that. We're doing that.
And you know who will want to wear one? Steve Sanders.
You think he will?
Oh, of course he will.
Okay.
He'll buy one from me if I tell him today we made them. The dude loves us.
But you're out there, Steve. Call in right now.
Yeah, we'll make it pink. We'll make it a pink shirt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll make it a pink shirt. Maybe a button down that says 3.2 million.
That'd be pretty cool.
So, we talked about the trading cards last week, or Glenn did at least.
Yeah.
Walter, of course, is still busy making trading cards, of course. So we're gonna show you the latest one. It's for today, August 15th.
Oh man.
Who is it? Try to. No, it's just this day in Twin Galaxies history.
Oh, I thought it was like maybe baseball.
So Walter says there's gonna be quite a few of these. Like once a week, there's gonna be something. What happened in Twin Galaxies history or video game history? For the past year.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up the back of the card for you all at home, but I'll just read what happened today. In Twin Galaxies history. Hey, game I actually kind of want to go for the world record. David Schooling scored 221,780 points on Carnival.
Wow.
That was a world record then. I don't know if it still is.
I love that game.
I have that game for ColecoVision.
Nice.
If you ever get a chance to go up to Fun Spot, you see this guy Fred Pastore play. He's universally known as the best Carnival player on Earth.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, here in Michigan, I found
that record
machine finally. And,
really?
Yeah, because I'm really good at it on Intellivision, and then I played the arcade, and it's like, the skills translate pretty well. Good. Except I'm not using a stupid phone to,
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm using actual joystick. On August 15th, 1987, Chris Era, I know I'm going to mispronounce that, scored 892,827 points on Crystal Castles. In Miami to take over third place in the world.
Did he use his foot though?
Probably not. At least it didn't smell after that.
It's a good way to lay claim to the game.
Yeah.
So those are just a few of the cards, and I have another card here that Walter is presenting for this week. The cards still keep on coming.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man. He's a graphic designer. He's not a world record holder or a musician. He likes making cards.
It's like the tops of the Midwest.
Well, he's the tops of the video game. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I can't read that on our screen. Can anybody read that for me? My Facebook ain't loading. We'll come back to it later.
He's standing next to a Defender cab, so
yeah, it's the original.
It's
the Defender world record holder. It's his card. He contacted Walter lately that, hey, can I get a card? And, well, he made a card. Rick Smith. I'm sorry. There we go. It pulled up on my iPad. Defender National Championship, April 2nd through 4th, 1982. He's the winner of the Twin Galaxies' first championship ever.
No shit.
So, card 1382. So try to go and find it or go to Walter's house and get it. So that's the addition to the Twin Galaxies trading card set for this week. And since I'm kind of doing the news, even though this isn't a Sega Genesis right here, it's the 25th anniversary of the release of the Sega Genesis in North America.
Gosh, it is. Oh, God.
And I know Glenn doesn't want to talk about it.
I vividly remember that.
I'm Ninglendo, not Glenesis.
That's right. Nintendo
It'd be so much easier, though. Genesis, you don't even have to change it.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yep.
Hey, the way I look at it,
Nintendo don't.
The way I look at it, if Genesis didn't come around, it wouldn't have pushed Nintendo further to be a better company than they are today. Because competition is always great. So you should think that Sega was just as popular.
Yep, exactly. We would have never gotten.
I'll never admit that.
We would just got the Nintendo 64 if it wasn't for Sega Genesis. So they would have milked Super Nintendo for like 13
Yeah, right.
years.
TurboGrafx is going to wipe all of them off. And all of a sudden, Genesis had to ruin everything.
Yep, had to ruin it with their great sports games.
Exactly. Make my favorite games ever.
Hold on.
Hate them. God.
So do you have a favorite Genesis game, Glenn? Or do you not even touch it?
Favorite Genesis game?
Or are you like
know.
the only good Genesis is a dead Genesis?
Echo? I think it's Echo.
Oh, yeah.
Echo the
No way.
God, I love that game.
You know, honestly, I couldn't tell you. Probably Shining Force.
No.
That's a great game.
That is a great game. Next to NHL 94, that's probably my favorite.
One of our co-hosts should go for a speed run on that.
Yeah,
I think he would do it.
That game nonstop.
Yeah, he knows the ins and outs. He knows what characters to that waste time. And
he played a version earlier this year, with his son, who's very young but is awesome at the game too. But he played a version where he only picked up the characters that they force you to pick up. So he only had like 11 or 12 characters at the final battle, and he won't beat the game. I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Nice.
You miss a lot of great characters when you do it that way. I can't even remember. There's certain characters you basically miss kind of the best characters in the game because they, you don't have to pick up the wolf and stuff like that. But But yeah, it was a pretty impressive game. I think he's basically played it every possible way.
Yeah, he knows it in and out, backwards
it's amazing.
and forwards. Yeah, my favorite part of the game is if you have the code, you can rename the characters.
That's why it's a fun game. That's why it's a good game, is because you can name the characters.
Yeah, you name all your friends or all your favorite athletes or your favorite. Yeah. For example, Steve Wagner would be one of my Shining Force characters, one of my idols.
So kind of you.
Wags, yeah. So happy birthday to Sega Genesis, the only video game system that I ever bought. Or no, that's a lie. What am I talking about? That's the first video game system I purchased with my own money.
You're playing a Dreamcast.
My parents would buy me Nintendo, so
I remember.
So I bought Sega Genesis, saved up my birthday money, and
as you said, they wouldn't buy you in Nintendo.
Yeah,
that's why you asked for a Nintendo, and they went to the store and they were like, "They don't have it, Mike. I'm sorry. Like, we looked for it. They said there's another one, but it wasn't the same, so they didn't buy it."
My microphone stand's broken.
I was going to say, what are you doing over there?
I'll have to fix it later. So happy birthday, Genesis. The only thing kind of we want to talk about here before we get into some elevator action is most of us are here. Probably the show. Maybe you guys are just new checking us out on Twitch. Twin Galaxies is an organization that tracks video game world records. And if you've been around for a while with Twin Galaxies, you know the past, the crumminess, and how records are sometimes being kept and weren't being kept. And things are obviously going in the correct direction. Granted, there's still some big leaps and bounds to get over and adjust things. So we're just going to kind of talk about possibly the evolution here of what is a world record and kind of what's worthy.
What's the future going to hold?
Well, that too, but what is worthy of a video game world record? I mean, obviously Donkey Kong is the majority of the reason why people found out about Twin Galaxies, right?
Yeah,
majority from now. Before the movie, it was just hearsay and people who played arcade games and maybe searched the internet. But majority of the people who follow Twin Galaxies now, it's because of Donkey Kong, King of Kong.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, you see the degree of skill that's involved with the Donkey Kong world record. People see that, and majority of the arcade games. But then when it comes into consoles, it gets a little muddied up because consoles were designed to provide you more entertainment than just 2 minutes. The idea of an arcade machine is supposed to eat as many quarters as possible to make the most amount of money. Granted, people like Steve Wagner and Glenn here can keep playing on a quarter forever. They're the reasons why the arcades went up.
Yeah, exactly.
But home consoles were made to provide you more entertainment for a longer time of period. So, like, let's go back to Sega Genesis when it comes to Shining Force. I mean, is that kind of a worthy world record for a speed run? I mean,
if it matters to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the question right there with all of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, someone could look at all this and go, this is so dumb. Why would anyone care about any video game like that?
Yeah.
What's the point? But, I mean, that's the key. If you care about it, then it's important. If you don't, then, I guess why are you here? But that's a question. I mean, if it's important to you, it's good.
And we've seen some clues about the new way world records will be approved, and I'm assuming, like, for newer video games and for games that aren't listed in the database, that will kind of be the same thing. If people care enough, it will be accepted as a world record. For example, we'll use record setter. Many of you may know what that is. You can make a world record for pretty much about anything.
Dude, that's if you want to accomplish anything in your life, just record setter, man. It's awesome.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Smash 10 alarm clocks in 3 minutes.
And I think the new
done that before.
And I think the new system is going to weed all that out. For example, there's a lot of stuff in the Twin Galaxies database which people can argue about. Oh, well, referees set up tracks for each other, and they probably did. And we don't, I want allegedly, I want 60 tracks on Gran Turismo for whatever. And you look at those records, it's like, well, so what? I mean, that's not the meat of the game. For example, we got Crazy Taxi on going back here. There's about 12 to 14 different world records, or tracks they call it. But really, what should be only tracked? I mean, in my opinion, arcade rules. Yeah, that's it. That's the that's the Crazy Taxi world record for Dreamcast or PlayStation 2 or the arcade. Is play to get 50 seconds, the most amount of money. That's the world record, not all the little crazy challenges. I mean, they're fun in the game. The game's great. There's a thing where you bowl with your car, and there's a high score on there, but
so you're not
why are we even wasting time tracking those?
So you are against putting Crazy Taxi Dreamcast and literally having 72 different things you can win.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the new system, based on what we've heard, what's going to happen of how things will be approved, that stuff will be weeded out unless the community really wants something. For example, I don't know, speed run on Donkey Kong. If there's enough people out there that really want that, I think that kind of stuff will be created.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would imagine there's certain games where maybe the programmers weren't originally thinking this was going to be everyone's favorite part of the game, but it turns out to be everyone's favorite part of it.
Yeah.
I would imagine you just leave it. It's like an elastic clause, you set up a bunch of rules, but there is a little wiggle room if people like it.
Well, I'll use an example is Wii Bowling for not class. I mean, it's classic. It's already
at this point.
It's already
8 years old.
It is 8 years old. Wii Sports, just Wii Sports.
Yeah,
the bowling is fun, and yes, anybody can get. There is a perfect score in bowling, but it's kind of a little bit more worthy world record, in my opinion, is the where you can knock over 91 pins.
The big that's fun.
The challenge where you have 10 frames, and every frame they add more pins, and it goes up to 91 pins. And that's awesome.
Hilarious.
I don't think nobody's got a perfect score on that yet, but that's pretty cool. And that's not the original game,
No.
So, and I think the new system will kind of do that. So
that's up there with Echo for being one of the funniest video games ever made. Seriously, I can't help but laugh every time.
We should do a Let's Play Echo the Dolphin.
What was that?
I just knocked something over.
Oh, okay. We definitely need Echo needs to be played.
How about 24-hour marathon of Echo the Dolphin?
It's just like going to SeaWorld.
Yeah. They're changing their image. Maybe they'll sponsor us to do the.
What, SeaWorld?
Yeah, because of their.
What, are they killing dolphins now or something?
Well, no, they're not killing dolphins, and that's what they're trying to portray.
Oh.
I saw it on Nightly
SeaWorld
News tonight.
used to kill dolphins?
Well, the way they treated the not the dolphins, the
whales.
The whales.
Oh, like the fin, like.
Yeah, and how they're kept in captivity until the show.
Yeah, I saw Free Willy. It was pretty awful, man.
Yeah, so they're
they're
trying to change their image, so maybe they'll sponsor us to play.
Yeah,
Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, there's a Dreamcast version, isn't there?
Yeah. No, there's a Sega CD version.
Oh, yeah,
better audio, but
the audio's unbelievable. God, Sega CD was awesome. I mean, really, it's hard to get audio that good.
So the other kind of thing I want to talk about is I think that since there's going to be a community voting aspect on it, what do you think, Glenn? Do you think direct capture for, let's just say, classic arcade or classic console games will be accepted by the community?
That's a tough one because I'm kind of on the fence with it.
Well, let's hear your personal, what you personally think about it, both ways, and then let's talk about what do you think everybody would be leaning towards.
Honestly, we're in an age of technology where things are readily available. It doesn't cost like $200 for a webcam anymore. You can pick up a decent one for $20-$40 if you really want to. The thing with direct capture is there's so many ways that people can cheat. And I briefly talked with Ross about it the other day, and he said that the only thing that direct capture should be accepted on is MAME, because you can check the IMPs and see if the player actually put the control inputs and stuff. But I got to thinking about that. Even that can be, you can fudge that a little bit. I mean, who's to say I didn't ask Steve Wagner to be all like, hey, play a game of elevator action for me. Give me the IMP, and then I'll submit it.
Yep. Well, my thing is YouTube. Some people might not know about Twin Galaxies or don't even care about getting a world record, and they'll submit, or even on Twitch, somebody will be just playing, I don't know, Super Smash Brothers, I don't know, something, and they record it, and somebody downloads that video and submits it as their own. That's where direct capture in my opinion, can't be accepted anymore for consoles as well, because how do you prove that that's your gameplay? With all this extra video on the internet, and especially now Twitch. I mean, there's people playing thousands and thousands of hours of video gameplay, uploading it to the web every minute.
I actually got a hilarious story about this. This was probably 6 months ago. A friend of mine was going for a speed run.
Wait, hang on. You have friends?
Yes, I do. I have plenty of friends, Mike.
Cool. I thought they all hated you.
In some communities.
It's a joke. Just go on. I'm sorry for interrupting.
But he was going for a speed run on a game for the NES, and he was streaming it. And he wanted to better his previous time. And he put his video up on YouTube. Somebody actually copied his video off of YouTube and put it on their YouTube channel and claimed his speedrun score. That actually happened 6 months ago, and it was kind of funny because the guy was streaming a speedrun attempt, and somebody came on his channel and was like, "Oh, this guy totally stole your speedrun and put it on his channel." And pasted.
Why though? I mean, I know people cheat all the time, but that is so pointless.
No, it happens that people cheated in everything.
I know. So I guess I don't get it.
I mean, if somebody cheats from stealing something from the store or, cheating on a video game, people just still do it regardless. I mean, I know you'll not. I mean, you're just a different type of person, Nick, but some people just do it.
I just don't get it.
I know.
What's the point?
To be number one.
Who gives a shit?
Look at Lance Armstrong.
No, I know that.
Cancer boy. Look
I
at
know.
him.
But at least Neil Armstrong.
Dang it.
At least Lance Armstrong was doing it for fame, fortune, all that.
That's what
crap.
some people are doing video games for. People are cheating on video games for fame.
Would an Echo the Dolphin speedrun really get somebody famous?
I don't know. Nick, back to Echo since Nick brought it up real quick. There is a Dreamcast version. I was incorrect. I guess it's a sequel.
It came out in 2000. It's the third incarnation. It's called Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. And he looks happy as ever, as he always does. There is one left on Amazon for $67.99. But I mean, that's a good-looking dolphin right there. I mean,
Right.
seriously.
We pull it up on the. I could pull it up on the screen, but you guys can do an internet search.
But I mean, 4 stars.
4 stars? Huh? Well,
Let's see. I will read one review. It's super quick. This is from Christopher A. Porter. Let's get one thing straight. This is easily the most realistic dolphin simulator on the Dreamcast today. The graphics are, in a word, outstanding. So, I mean, if you believe Christopher A. Porter, but he only gives it 4 stars, which is really interesting.
It didn't quite satisfy his need for dolphins.
Oh, I was wrong. This is like a 5. This is pages.
Oh.
Shit. Never mind.
So he gave it pages and he only gave it 4 stars?
Beautiful but fishy.
It's a beautiful dolphin simulator, but the fact that it's
October
a dolphin
4th,
simulator.
2000. Yeah, exactly. Well, from October 4th, 2000, evidently this was the best dolphin simulator at the time in the world.
Dolphin simulator.
Oh my god.
I'm
gonna.
Well, let's go back to this kind of subject at hand. So you gave us your opinion. Now you're on the fence, Glenn. So what's the other side of your argument?
I'm kind of leaning towards both. Like, have a direct capture screen so you can see the gameplay clearly, but then have a separate window with a webcam where it shows the player the TV in.
So you're saying there needs to be 2 video types for a in-person verification.
That would be the most legit in my eyes.
Okay. So by that, let's just say that, do you think the community, since the community supposedly, based on the new system that we've heard, is going to be in place, do you think the community will be with you and require all the other players to do something like that? No. Or do you think everybody's going to generally accept direct capture?
Most of them will, for the most part, most of them will generally accept it because it's easier to do.
Okay. Because they don't want it. The reason why they're going to accept it is they don't want to go through the hassle of all the verification. And that's why. Not because they're cheating, you don't think, but because they're just going to be lazy about it, which I can understand too. Majority of the records I sent in were direct capture because why? It's easy. It looks clean and you can see what's going on, and I don't have to have a camera across my living room floor. I don't have to worry about focus. It just records everything, But I do see the need for it because we were talking about something earlier too about especially for light gun games. Our friend Jared, I think we didn't talk about this last week, did we? No, I don't know. We talked to each other about this stuff, but the Nintendo Zapper, one of our buddies, he changed the mirrors inside. So you as long as you just pointed it at the screen,
Well, he put it into a shotgun barrel. That's what he did.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, he did that eventually, but he put it back into the original gun at first.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't actually know if I ever
the
saw
mirror,
that one.
for example, for you guys want to cheat on the light games,
totally works.
Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, some Master System games, is if you go in and change the mirrors in the gun, you have a wider angle to accept that little white dot that flashes when you pull the trigger. So if you widen those mirrors, you have a wider range. And our buddy Jared did it. He widened it so far, you just pointed at the middle of the screen. It hit everything. It hit every duck. It hit every clay. You couldn't miss.
Yeah,
it was cool, but that's where you can't even accept. How can you got to start verifying your controller? Now that's completely different. Showing. And that's where the arcade verification system from a long time ago comes into play, where the video camera shows the PSB, you show the controller, making sure you use the correct 4-way or 8-way.
Yeah.
And so I think if the community, the console players are willing to do it, I think that needs to be the proper way to verify. But will it happen? I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
What do you guys think? You guys can chime into the other channels, or you can text us on the chat.
On the chat.
Or if you know our personal cell phones, you can chat us as well.
We won't answer it, though, because, we're doing a show right now. So we're not
I
going to look at
might.
our phones.
I don't care.
I'm just kidding. I've been on my phone like half
The whole show. Yeah.
I was just looking. I was reading the storyline of the Echo game is pretty fantastic, too. It sounds like the best Echo I've ever seen. It's so ridiculous.
Next week, Nick's playing Echo the Dolphin for Dreamcast.
Just giggling the entire time. I'm going to spend $75 to get Echo the Dolphin for Dreamcast. That's probably what it cost when it came out.
No. Talking about.
I don't know.
Cool.
Games cost way more back then, dude.
Yeah. Well, that was my subject. I thought we were going to a few more people to chime in, but I guess not.
Yeah.
What do you think, Wagner? Do you even play console games or no?
I'm probably the wrong guy to ask about
That's what I
technology
think.
submissions because I was still submitting VHS tapes like as late as last year.
Heck
So-
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
VHS is best.
I thought for sure you were gonna go. I'm not the guy to do it because I just steal videos off YouTube.
No, we just had to teach him Skype to come on our show this week. Glenn did.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah, I thought more people would be.
yeah, that's fine. I thought we at least get something in the
There's
chat.
Phil. Phil has something. Phil would rather submit using the same guidelines as all current submissions, i.e., even if it's direct feed, it would still require console flash, etc. So you do bring up good points I haven't even thought of in regards to cheating.
Yeah, and there's other. I'm not going to bring up his name, but there's another guy out there who showed me a way where you can, you can flash and reset and start your console with direct capture with another system and the correct AV hookups, and you can make it look like you are starting up a real console. But then you can switch to an emulator or an emulator with TAS, Tool Assisted Speed Run. That's not right. I don't know the acronym. But, you could switch it to an emulator or a saved run or some other type of input easily. And I've seen it done, and I'm like, well, that's not cheat. And then somebody showed me a video of them actually cheating. So
imagine if you took all this time that all these people are spending this time cheating. Imagine if they spent this time playing the game and actually beating it for real. That would be amazing.
Well, this person doesn't cheat. They're just showing me that they could
no,
cheat.
I'm not. I'm just saying. But the fact that they go out of the way. I'm not good. I don't even care about the game. But let's figure a cheat out, man. That'll be awesome. I don't know. I just have such a problem with it because it's so pointless.
Yeah, there's no pride in it when you actually do it.
No, that's what I mean. What are you getting out of it?
Yeah.
I guess that's it. If I can't beat a game, I can't beat it.
And
it sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it.
F Symbols brought up a good point because I kind of want to go back to it. Says I never thought about the controller fraud, and that's another thing too. I mean, now what does me and Nick have different opinions on this, but based on what controller you use is kind of we've always in our gaming competitions it's kind of your choice, or we say you can't use certain things, but when it comes to direct capture, I'm going to use Atari for an example. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the new Twin Galaxies rules are, but the old Twin Galaxy rules were you're supposed to use the original controller or something similar. You know what? Screw this.
Genesis controller.
Hook up your Genesis controller and play an Atari game. You know how much easier it is? Oh, man. I mean, so how can you prevent that unless you are, unless you're showing it plugged into the system and then, not unplugging it and all that, show the true verification. Because, I mean, I'm curious.
Zoom out.
I mean, I'm never going to go for an Atari world record unless I can use a Sega Genesis controller.
Me either.
Because I just don't want to.
No, it's not. Atari's not that much fun to play unless you can play with the Genesis controller. Then it's fun.
Come on, where's the haters? People say, you got to play it the true way.
You got
which I mean, I can't really disagree with them.
No.
When it comes to setting a record.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, if you want to have fun playing Atari, the only way to do it is by playing it with a Genesis controller. Seriously.
Or what I did one time, what I should do, if I ever try to go for my Sonic world record again, I'm going to do it with an Atari controller.
Oh, hey, you beat the game.
I beat the game,
but
not going for the world record with it. So.
You can.
That'd be kind of.
You can do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that would be cheating. I wasn't using the correct.
That would be
I was
awesome.
using an Atari. I was using a.
I mean, that's all the Genesis was anyway. It was just a rip-off of Atari.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
So. Sonic was just an Atari game, basically. It's like the bump and jump with 16-bit graphics.
So Nick Houslander says Sonic the Hedgehog is exactly like Bump and Jump from the Atari, except it has better graphics.
It does have better. I'll give it that. It has a little bit better graphics.
So when he has any opinions, you know exactly how to feel about him. Okay, cool. Well, if we get any more information, or we'll come back and talk about.
Actually,
go ahead.
Mentioned the Donkey Kong speedrun record. That was actually broke like a week ago, if not a couple days ago.
Really?
Either a couple days ago to a week ago.
Nice.
Dan Desjardins got 1 hour and 16 minutes to a kill.
Oh, he beat Mr. Vincent LeMay. So now that's technically not a. Nobody's really tracking that other than what Donkey Kong forums.
Yeah.
Or it's just the group of Donkey Kong players are keeping track amongst themselves, right?
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah. Hey, that's awesome. He was in our gamer chat last week, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Recognize that face in it. Well, congratulations to you, Dan. One of my favorite. That's my favorite Donkey Kong world record.
Speedrun. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's the one I like the best too.
Yeah.
Yeah, point push. I mean, when we've mentioned our video game championship that we've done, we set rules. I mean, there was specific rules that made point pushing impossible in our video game championship.
Yeah.
You were not allowed to point push.
Yeah, because it just takes
you
too
were
much time.
point pushing, you were disqualified.
Yep.
So we put a time cap on it, which made it impossible to point push, or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
we found ways around it because it's bullshit. That's not a way to play the game.
I
I mean, not for like to see who's better at it.
yeah,
That's my opinion.
that's Nick's opinion.
That's my opinion. But.
So, well, let's we're gonna move on to the next thing. So our guest, Steve Wagner, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Good. How long have you been playing arcade games for, like competitively?
Oh, competitively? 09 maybe?
9 years. Wow.
No, 2009. So 5 years.
Wagner, how are you,
Okay.
sir? Oh, kind of when we started.
Doing well.
Oh, good.
Hello?
How long have you been playing arcade games for? Like, whoever's in, please turn off your speakers because we're getting feedback.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that sounds like you, Mike. That's weird. Why are you asking Wagner the same question again?
I think they fixed it.
No, they did. Thank you.
Hey, Glenn, why don't you take over for a little bit?
Oh yeah. So Wagner, you got like a achievement list like a mile long, pretty much.
That's very kind of you.
Like whenever I see you like enter a tournament, you're always top 3. It seems like.
I think I just get lucky when I play.
Lucky.
I kind of close my eyes and hope for the best. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But once in a while, luck's on your side, and you come through a little bit. It's all good.
What would you say are like your 3 favorite records that you have?
Elevator Action's a good one. That was an old 80s score that I was happy to beat. I don't know. The Monaco one was fun because I learned it from Richie over there when he had it in the arcade. So he got max out score on that. And I don't know. Maybe Snacks and Jackson. Because it's one of Mark Alpiger's favorite games. So when I beat his score on it, I was pretty happy.
I was hoping you were going to say Hunchback.
Hunchback's a great game. That's a really hard game. If you like platform games and you want to throw your keyboard across the screen or your laptop, I recommend Hunchback as a MAME tournament game. It's insanely difficult and fun. Well, not that fun, but it's difficult.
It is difficult. I played it.
Yeah.
After I seen that you got the record on it on MAME, I was like, man, I got to try that.
It looks like a Commodore 64 game, but with like worse graphics.
Yeah, totally. And I was like watching your gameplay, and I'm like, oh, that looks easy. And then I tried jumping with the guy. I'm like, yeah, that's not so easy.
No, it's fucking hard.
The controls on it, and it's so sluggish.
Yeah, it's not a very good game, but it's fun.
What else? You did, like, what was it, Jungle Hunt?
Yeah, I did that last year at some point. Figured out a repeatable pattern on one of the boards and was able to do it. It's a little bit random at times, and it's hard to keep a pattern on that game. So once you kind of get used to running it, you can kind of do it over again. It repeats the fourth loop of the game continuously forever. So once you get there and you can do it repeatedly, you can do it and play as long as you want. And I killed my game off and passed the record on it.
Nice. I thought that I always liked that game. That game was fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and then like anything else, if you pattern for it, it gets boring.
Yeah, it was probably fun learning the pattern. Or trying to learn the pattern.
Out on paper, and it was pretty fun. Trying to do some old school pen and paper, trying to figure out what to do. Talked to George Strain a lot about it. He has the mark, I think, and we were talking back and forth about different things. So it was cool because we would talk about. There's one board that you kind of have to develop a pattern on, the fourth Gator board or whatever, and it's kind of tricky to repeat it and do it repeatedly. So we were talking back and forth. It'd be interesting to see. I've never seen him do it, so. And he's never seen my pattern, so I imagine they're vastly different. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, totally. He's the guy that approved my Berenstein Bears record.
Berenstein Bears? What is that?
He's definitely a good guy for that, then.
It's a arcade game.
You have a world record on that?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You have no idea.
Was that your first world record, Glenn?
No, it was one of my newest ones. I only got it because I didn't like the guy that had it, and it's a tough game.
I know how that is. I'm working on stuff like that.
His score was 50,000, and I got 250,000.
Congratulations!
And
Spite's a wonderful thing.
And I'll never tell him my strats unless he apologizes.
Big Paws Cave.
Yep, Big Paws Cave. But that's my one of my least favorite records that I have.
He's driving. Like I know Steve, I know of your name and why I was, attracted to knowing about you, Steve, is the Bosconian record when you had it. For that short time, I didn't see anybody go for that record, and the best part was I just got my arcade machine and. I'm like, oh, maybe I could go for that score. Oh, here, Stephen Wagner, brand new Bosconian world record holder. What's the story behind that? Do you own one, or is it just
well, no, Richie had one for a while, and we figured out that the marathon score that was on TG was probably done on a different ROM set. There's like a bunch of different ROM sets in MAME. A few of them, I think one of them at least is marathonable because the red never comes on for like quite a long time on a board, so you can run boards pretty easily. And then the other ROM set, I guess the midway ROM set, is the one that you see in most arcade machines. I've never seen an arcade machine that's marathonable. So we started playing that at his place, and then we set it to the 5-man track because the marathon track was pretty much, we felt reserved for that other ROM set. And we started playing, and I got decent at it. And another guy out near Marky Keel's area, he was really good too. And we were going back and forth trying to push each other a bit on it. And I think we'd trade off on it like every 6 months or so on it. So I think he ended up getting it, and then Richie sold his machine, I think. So I never got a chance to keep going on it. But it was in the Fun Spot tournament last year, in the main tournament, and I was able to squeeze by Martin Bedard on it a little bit and get first on it and get a Bosconian trophy. So that was fun. That's
cool. I saw that, yeah. So I've gotten up to 383 is my highest.
Very nice.
My machine is not cooperative. And that's what I'm an idiot. I love arcade games, but I'm an idiot when it comes to that kind of stuff. I got to figure out which ROM set I do have. And I know I can kind of tell by searching the internet that some levels come in a different order, but I still can't figure it out. I should just send my board to Richie or somebody because it needs repair anyways and see what I actually have. Maybe I do have a marathon one thing because that's what I always look at the marathon records like, oh, that's a game I'd like. It'd be kind of cool to take on a marathon, but when I always look at records, I always kind of compare them between a marathon and a 5-man. And if you can, like for example, Galaga, there's still a limit on how many lives you have. So I always take the marathon score divided by how many lives were possible, and most points per ship I think is more of a worthy record. So, for example, in the Galaga, Andrew Laidlaw gets about 900,000 points per ship, where the marathon Galaga record is more like maybe 400,000 points per ship or something. So I always just do that and compare, because really the way I look at a record is, well, whoever can get the most on one ship, whoever has the most skill, in terms of, instead of how longevity, especially if there's a cap somewhere. Because, for example, asteroids, we have no idea how many lives were burned back, or we can't figure it out. So,
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the really long games. I kind of get these ADD spells, and I don't really like these marathons. And plus, I just feel like I'd probably not be good at marathoning games. So I usually go for the tournament type games. I think the longest I ever played a game on one credit was like 4 hours or something before I quit. So I'm not probably the best marathoner to talk to it, but I have definitely a large appreciation for it. However, because I've been there when George is, Duncan has done his Qbert stuff, and playing that game, especially with the trippy colors, that's got to be insane. I've seen John McAllister do the asteroids and the joust and stuff. It's definitely a gruel, man. It's a grind, but yeah, they're superheroes for doing that. I don't think I could sit there and play that long forever, and probably not even be that able to do it. It's just too much.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm pushing myself to do something like that. I'm thinking about it, but it's just like I kind of just like the 5-man, or something of a smaller time frame. Most points per guy is how I am. That's how I like to do stuff. I don't like the stuff that has unlimited lives, but I do see the appreciation for that. Because did you have the Berserk record at one time?
Yes, I have the fast bullets one. Yeah.
Oh, you still have the fast bullets, but you're playing what's called Pattern Way or something like that.
You want to talk about that for a minute?
We kind of should, just because people know there's things about what I've said in the past about it. But yeah, well, we'll go ahead and let's talk about it for a little bit.
So I was talking about this the other day to a couple people. The thing I don't understand, because when they broke out those tracks, because someone wanted to break out those tracks. The thing that I don't understand is, so I owned a machine for a while. I don't have it anymore, but that's the machine I broke the score on. That was Chris Irish score that he had done a pattern, and I heard about the pattern, read about it on TG, and figured I'd try to do it too. And so I did. But the thing I don't understand is, so when you boot the machine up, right, it starts you in the same room every time. So that's when you're able to run a box pattern, because you start in the same room every time when you boot the machine. Off reset, if you die once in the game, it'll send you to a random spot in the 64,000 mazes or whatever it is. And if you also kill the game, or your game ends and you start a new game, you'll be placed in a random spot, and you won't be able to run your box that you're accustomed to. So my thing is, if for instance, because it just says not pattern in those tracks, and I was talking to someone the other day, I said, if I start a game and I go straight left to right in the game, but it's from boot up, so I already know I can map out, I can use save states even in MAME and map out left to right what rooms are trouble, where to stand in those rooms. If I just go left to right, but I start from boot up, is that a pattern, or if it's not pattern? I mean, it's more rooms, but you're still kind of knowing what's coming because you have it mapped out. So
yeah, you could go left, right, up, down, right, and just have an exact, and just keep playing it the same way every time, and you could make your own pattern. More than four rooms, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying too is that the whole thing is that people have said in the past that have been proponents of splitting them out, that because you're not going straight left to right the whole time, and you know the 4 rooms or whatever. And if you boot up the machine and you go straight left to right the whole time, you're going to get the same rooms because you're starting from the same starting point. So if I did that and I mapped out 100 mazes and said, maze 55 is trouble, maze 75 is trouble, whatever it is, but I know where to be when those mazes come up because I'm going left to right, but I'm starting from the same spot. It's to me, it's kind of running a pattern. I don't know. I don't see the difference that much, aside from the fact you're playing 4 rooms as opposed to like 100, but you could have a piece of paper next to you the whole time and know what's coming. So, I mean, to me, I don't really know the whole details behind the split out. But to me, if I was to start the game and go left to right, I think if you gave me a certain amount of time, I could probably get the so-called random record going straight left to right if I used save states and MAME and figured out what boards were problems and all that kind of stuff. If I really wanted to go through all that nonsensical trouble, but
you could make your own pattern, but it wouldn't be in the box pattern. So you're gonna, instead of going in the same 4 rooms, you're gonna go in the same 464 rooms, but you're going to plan it out where you keep going through those when you practice, or you're just going to restart your machine, and that's how you will get the random world record. I kind of agree with that, and that was kind of my reasoning. If anybody knows, I was head ref for about 21 days and previous management, and that was one of the issues that came up, was that people wanting to split that. And what I said was no, because we can't prove back in the day what did what. And then that's the exact same argument. Who says you can't make a pattern in random play? You can just go from room to room to room and keep playing those same rooms. But, it's just more of practice. It still truly isn't random.
Yep.
Well, cool. I'm glad I feel a little bit better about my decision back then. But obviously, somebody else changed it. So.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I actually ever did as head ref, because the previous owner wouldn't really let me do anything. You're head ref, but you can't do anything. Okay, great. Bye-bye. I'm not head ref anymore. And then we all know the story.
What do you say? Should we fire up some EA?
I think we should we should see the world record holder instead of me trying to talk and play Crazy Taxi very poorly. There was a Crazy Taxi arcade machine for $150 on eBay.
What?
Awesome.
Dude,
and it was working.
Worked.
No, it was working. Except problem was it was something they wanted $420 to ship it here. So I was like, forget it.
Dude, oh snap! There's elevator action.
Is there any lag on my when it changes when it refreshes the screen and everything, or is that cool video?
It's cool video, man. It looks great.
Looks beautiful.
So nice.
If you guys can switch the main screen over there in the studio to Mr. Wagner's screen, probably be best. Because that's what we want to see more than anything now.
Oh God, the pressure!
The pressure's on you.
Don't screw up, man.
I've been waiting for this for a while though. Have Steve play and just to watch. This is gonna be great.
The world's watching, huh?
The world is watching, buddy.
At least 60 people.
I'm gonna try and screen cap and get EA going on my end real quick. All right. So I'm gonna turn off my video and see if this will work.
We'll watch the attract mode. Speaking of attract modes, we were talking one day. I forget who it was. I think it was Ross. He was trying to come up with the attract mode that was the most boss-like, like the one where the computer or the attract mode is playing the best in the attract mode, because most of them are really horrible.
Oh yeah,
they just the screen. And figured out like Moon Patrol is actually pretty decent attract mode. Like the attract mode plays the game pretty well.
He does. He makes some jumps.
Yeah.
But he also don't have to deal with the random saucers that offer you.
That's true. Yeah.
So
look at Ethan. It's Intrepid.
So for our viewers who've never heard of EA or played of Elevator Action, what is the game, just briefly, for our viewers?
So you're the guy carrying those plans there. Well, now they're gone. But you're the guy, the main character there with the brown jacket. And pretty snazzy looking. And you basically start out top of a building, and you have to get all the red doors opened and get to the bottom of the car, bottom of the building, get in the car before you meet your untimely death. And it sounds easier than it is.
This game is tough. It cheats. It
Mega
cheats.
It direct captures all over the game.
What's that?
It's basically it's direct capture. Never mind. Nick got it.
I got it.
The other thing too is the arcade machines for some reason is prone to resets, and I don't know why. Every one I've ever played on, so I've probably played on about 4 of them. There's some weird input, and I can't figure out what it is that'll reboot the machine. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I've done it before, like on a good game, and it's really frustrating.
So it's like when I play Bosconia.
Yeah, basically, like, man, I'm having a great game.
Oh,
and just
I got
shuts
5
off.
ships and 300,000. Oh, great.
I think it's in the code, though. I really do, or the ROM set or something, because
it's probably the game. Yeah, just like some games are like that. Yeah.
Oh, insert a quarter. Oh, okay. Oh, great, thanks. How old is elevator action?
1983.
83. Nice.
How'd
you know that?
I just wanted to be the world record holder on one thing. That's all.
Did this ever come out for a console?
Yeah, NES.
Did it come out for NES?
Actually got in a debate with Rudy today because he says that the NES and the arcade version is exactly alike.
I highly doubt that. It's based on nothing other than they usually weren't exactly like the arcade version.
If Wikipedia is true and correct, a port to the original Game Boy includes the ability to acquire different weapons, such as a machine gun that fired more rapidly.
What?
Yeah.
Could use
and Game Boy.
You guys are both just stupid
bullshit.
It was probably on Genesis, wasn't it?
There's other ones. There's Elevator Action EX for Game Boy Color.
What?
Elevator Action Old and New for Game Boy Advance.
Wow, this is just...
And here we go. We're playing this next week.
3DS?
Elevator Action Return Sega Saturn.
Yes! Why the heck did Sega Saturn get it?
Sega Saturn gets everything.
Yeah, everything awesome. I bet you
All
they didn't get it. Ooh, I wonder if there's an Echo game.
Shut up, Nick.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm going to start a game up because it won't last me long.
Yeah.
Is that a cue for me too there, Glenn?
Yeah,
sure,
why
if you want to start, whenever you want to start, Wag.
Yeah, you're in the main screen, Steve, so you would see your talents live.
Yeah. You don't want to see mine.
See what happens.
I kind of dig the music.
Yeah, like.
Bring that up eventually. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, how's he doing, Glenn? We can't see his gameplay right now. We're trying to fix something on our end.
He's doing fine.
Okay.
He ain't got no worries for like a while.
Oh, okay. I've never seen the game. We're trying to pull it up in our studio. Our screen was black here, so we weren't even sure if we were still live. We got an upside down screen.
It may or may not be upside down now.
I love live television. It's great.
Mega cheats. Oh, it got me right in the back of the head, man.
Yay.
Oh, man. How do you do it, Steve?
Practice makes semi-decent. It's all patterned. The whole thing.
Yeah, right.
We can finally see what's going on your screen. We're trying to.
We've loved the sound.
We've been quiet, but we've had a problem with our screen here in our studio. We couldn't see anything, even though we're broadcasting. Okay, now we can ask you some questions because we have nothing. We don't know anything about this game.
Mike was trying to fix the screen, and I was reading some Echo the Dolphin fanfic. So
you in that
good
game,
job there, Nick. Thanks for helping.
You're welcome.
So, I guess my question is, when did you fall in love with this game?
You asking me?
Yeah, when was your first memory?
Sorry, my machine's loud. We had it at a bowling alley when I was growing up. And I was in a bowling league with my brother, and I spent way less time bowling and way more time playing this.
That's what you're supposed to do at a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Play video games.
Yeah.
Who bowls at a bowling alley
Exactly.
in the 80s?
We were always excited for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at the end of the night, or The Simpsons,
or Captain America and the Avengers.
That's right. We still played as a team, but
we were
playing the arcade.
We were playing the arcade game, or Mercs. That was
Ask what system this is in the chat. We're Steve Wagner, world record holder on Elevator Action, is actually playing on the our original arcade machine. So, do you think anybody's going to threaten your world record?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd like to beat it one day, but I haven't been that close since. Well, kind of close.
Anybody else out there, who's gunning for it, other than Glenn?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Marky D's pretty good. He can get over 100,000.
Yeah, he's good.
Donkey Kong Jr. world record holder?
The dude in Brazil that was playing in Igby a couple weeks ago, he was really good too. He made me sweat it out.
So, I'll ask you both this. For anybody who wants to start playing this game, what's like the first thing they should know? Like to be semi-decent at it.
Don't use the gun as much. You're going to be tempted to use the gun a lot, but sometimes that's not a good thing. Try to jump kick as much as you can. And there's little subtle things that will help you survive bad spots, I guess, just like Donkey Kong or any other game, but they're kind of hard to explain. But enemy behavior is a big thing. Kind of understanding the enemy behavior a little bit. There can only be 4 guys on the screen at one time, so that's crucial. Shoot the lights out, you get more points for killing guys when you do that. So.
Have you ever played Elevator Action 2?
I have not.
I have. They actually had it at MGC this year, Mike. When we
came out in '94.
Yeah, they had Galaxies Ghost had that cab there this year.
I don't know that I went to that room.
It was kind of
video games.
I played Slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
once for 5 minutes.
What Elevator Action 2 was right next to the Splatterhouse?
Was it? Oh,
yes. It was like it was like the next one over.
Dude, that's awesome. I was there with you at that game.
I know.
I'm pathetic. I don't.
But you know, in our defense, we were all kind of hungover.
Kind of. Were we really hungover though? Because I mean, I started drinking at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So
that was hair of the dog, buddy.
It was. It was good. That was a good weekend, man.
You played no video games.
I think I was there for 3 days, and I think I played approximately 45 minutes of video games the entire time.
Yeah, we're talking about the Midwest Gaming Classic in Wisconsin. It's if you guys live in that area,
it's a blast.
It is a great convention. I mean, it's more of a pinball thing, but they still have plenty of arcades, and there's some console stuff downstairs. It is probably one of the funnest places to be. The hall is loud pretty much anywhere.
They had karaoke in the bar.
Okay, see, like I said, not about video games.
Oh, well,
again.
I'm just saying, if it's a fun weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying,
if you're going to drink with me.
Absolutely. And no matter what you think, you're not going to beat. You are not going to beat Glenn at that.
Phil thinks he can beat me at drinking.
I doubt it. I mean, I don't know Phil. So, I mean, I don't know how he can handle his liquor, but all I know is that Glenn can't. So,
got a few questions here in the chat. Yes, these shows will be available video on demand. You can go through the list as here on Twin Galaxies Live. We are broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everything is archived in there as well as highlights. So our show will be there, and we plan to also make this show individual available, podcast, YouTube, etc. We are in the makings of doing last week's show, even though it's kind of garbled, but we plan to publish it all for later view. But we want you here watching it every Friday night, starting at 7:30 Pacific time, 10:30 Pacific time every Friday night.
10:30.
As long as we really want to do this and people want to watch us. And we'll have definitely more interesting news and probably more guests once when Galaxy submissions are in. The competitiveness will be back. There'll be a lot more interviews and more questions because we're all still kind of in a waiting pattern. I mean, people are setting world records, but in terms of verifying them, you know, that's kind of the question mark. People are ready to compete, and when it hits, this show will be jam-packed with new scores, new techniques, new contests, hopefully. But like I said, we're just kind of chilling here tonight. Once again, for you joining us, we're here with Steve Wagner, arcade world record holder and multiple titles. He's showing us some things on... we'll be right back. Don't worry about it. They're resetting it. So Glenn, how are you doing? You're in the smaller screen. We can't really see.
I'm at 19,850.
Why does your screen look a lot different? Is that just because it's MAME?
Yeah, it's MAME.
Okay. I think Steve has the advantage because he has all the loud... It sounds like his button is like perfectly broken in.
Oh, yeah.
You know how when you get a new button in an arcade machine, it's too stiff?
It's not good. You can't hit it fast.
My Neo Geo is perfect. My red button is just but now it's starting to be faulty. It's too
like
broken in.
Well, yeah, you've had it for a while now.
I gotta get new joysticks.
20,000, Steve, buddy. You love it?
Love it, mate. Love it.
We can't see your score, Steve.
I'm gonna blame that for dying at 40K.
40K, Jesus.
You should play it. You probably get about 4 points.
I might be able to top my Donkey Kong score. Look at that.
There's Glenn.
Glenn, man. Showing the world how to play.
I used to play this game as a kid, man. It was down the street from my grandma's house at the bait shop / bar/restaurant.
Well, that's why you're playing instead of us. You should at least make Steve at least try to play halfway decent.
Yeah, right.
Where, you know, me and Nick play this game.
Just you playing any game.
So it reminds me of Spy vs. Spy for.
Yeah, you know what? Good call.
Probably Spy vs. Spy is a ripoff of this game.
Definitely is. It came out after.
Definitely. Oh, he shot me in the face.
Designers of Spy vs. Spy never seen it.
Maybe the designers of this game, Spy vs. Spy.
That's a very good.
It was like, hey, here's $28,000. Make the video game. We're like, well, we already got one.
We already got one. It's called Elevator Action. It's the greatest game ever.
Yeah, they're like, you've never heard of it? Like, it's amazing. Steve Wagner kicks ass at it like all the time.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
they're playing it until 9 years ago.
Know what this kind of reminds me of too? There was that crap Mario game in the mid-80s that was for that goofy ass system.
Hotel Mario.
One Mario, or it was like ladder elevator Mario, or
CD
something.
for CDI.
Yeah, for
Hotel Mario.
Hotel Mario. Yeah, that's it. That's what this reminds me. You have that game?
This does not remind you of
This reminds me of Hotel Mario.
Why? Because it has doors?
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly why it reminds me of Hotel Mario.
27,000. Mark it down.
Mario teaches typing?
Yeah. He knows a lot of stuff. Glenn, do you have a CDI?
Yes.
No kidding,
that's
dude.
That's why he's in the VG.
Oh, man. We've wanted one forever, man.
You want to know what's even crazier? I have probably like 70 games for it.
How many?
What?
Yeah, because when I was a kid, there's a plant, or it used to be a factory that was for Philips. And my aunt was like a plant manager at the factory in town here. And that's why like everybody in town here has like CDIs.
Well, yeah, because it was so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, but since she was like plant manager, she got this huge like discount and got like all the games for like half price.
My God. Well, and since
so
was an
she like scooped them all up. Like,
well, especially because that was probably like, since no one was buying this system anyway, they were just like, well, just give it to somebody.
Do you have the plumbers don't wear ties or something?
No, I don't.
There's if any of you guys watch Angry Video Game Nerd, you know what I'm talking about. During this CDI game,
was it CDI?
You know what? I might be wrong.
I think you're wrong. I don't think.
I was gonna say, was it 3DO?
Yeah, it was 3DO.
All right, never mind.
Lyco's that shit, man.
But that my favorite CDI game is Burn Cycle. Love it.
So what is it? I mean, I assume it's a racing game.
It's a mix and match kind of game. It's like a MUT game. It's got first-person shooting elements to it. It's an adventure game, a point-and-click adventure.
Really?
It's a puzzle game. And the story is like really bizarre, and it's set in like a future like Blade Runner type setting.
That kind of sounds awesome.
It is awesome.
What's it called again?
Burn Cycle. You can actually get it on PC. They made a PC port, but the PC port sucks. So there's that.
Just like your EA gameplay.
Yeah, just like it, buddy.
So, out of the 70 games for the CDI, how many would you say are like worth playing?
Maybe like 10.
That's not bad. That's more than I thought. I thought you were gonna say. I said it. Burn Cycle.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some games like if you have friends over and you're drinking, there's some games that are just awesome to put in.
Oh, that's cool.
Y'all like play this.
We should play that on the air for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah, you need to play some CDI.
We gotta have a CDI night.
Yeah, that's oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That'll pretty much be the best night ever.
I can play some of the coloring games.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Are they like all Mario Paint like that?
No, they're like
Change the
Berenstein
title of the
Bears and like
Color it
there's a
on
good
the
one.
screen.
Color it on
Richard Scarry's Best Neighborhood Ever.
Oh, they had like literature games and stuff.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple. I got
Ah.
something Tar Baby.
Tar Baby.
It's like Daniel Glover like narrates the story.
Really?
Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's
That's
like an
so-
interactive like story child's tale thing. It's nuts.
That's interesting. So were they like was there's like more like educational type games in that system?
There is. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? To be honest, the majority of the games that I have on there are made for like little kids.
Okay. It almost sounds like what a lot of computer games were.
But they had some decent games. Like I like the Tetris port. The Tetris port on it's awesome, and
Really?
it probably has the best Tetris music ever.
Oh, I bet. Oh, dude,
It's just-
holy sound.
It's very relaxing music, and obviously it's like CD quality music. So, Thunder in Paradise. Remember that show with Hulk Hogan?
The Hulk Hogan show?
Yeah, the CDI game is awesome.
Really?
Yes, it's totally badass. It's like a,
That sounds
it's like-
awesome.
it's like Time Crisis.
Really?
Yeah, or like that Mad Dog McCree game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We played
Except
that
they
game.
have like badass like boating segments.
Dude, that's... Oh yeah, we gotta have a CDI night.
I do have the Mad Dog McCree, and I have the Last Bounty Hunter with the gun. Might I add?
Yeah, Mike, you have Mad Dog McCree, don't you? We
Yeah,
played
for
it
the
at one of
Sega
the
CD.
Yeah, Sega CD. We played it at the VGC ones. That's a pretty fun game. I mean,
It's not on CDI. It's broken as hell on CDI.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool, man. Very
So,
exciting.
So Steve, Mike, I got a question. Your elevator world record holder. Since you've had so much fame with it, what's been like the best part about being famous for elevator action?
I get recognized everywhere I go. It's pretty amazing.
Is it?
That's so cool.
What about girls or
My
boys?
agent's been finding me movie deals left and right. It's great.
Awesome! That is so cool. You should wear sunglasses with that red hat you always wear.
Yeah. No, it's a fun game. It's I think it's the best game in my opinion. A lot of different ways to play it.
Is it your favorite game?
It certainly is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What is Desert Island game? That's the game.
I think it's a really excellent title. A lot of random elements to it, a lot of strategy elements to it, strategy and action. It's fun. It's not just running a maze forever and whatever.
Desert Island. And
game.
you have solar panels on the top, so it can always be powered.
Is this the game? Stranded on an island.
With the solar powers.
Maybe he's avoiding the question.
People sometimes they just
He's
don't.
probably at a very tough spot right now.
Yeah, we can't see. Right now we're watching you, Glenn.
Yeah, we're watching Glenn, which
Man,
you seem
you-
to be kicking some
Yeah,
ass.
you're actually
man.
doing a lot better, I think.
Yeah, right. Come off the grass.
I mean, given I know nothing about this game, but it looks like you're kicking ass.
Hey, Glenn, you're not supposed to use the gun as much. You know that, right?
Yes, I know that, but when they're across the screen,
We're just saying
I'm
this
just
is what
screwing
Wag
with you,
said.
dude.
He said never use the gun once.
yeah, right.
Exactly what Wagner said.
Never use it at
That's
all.
what he
Just
said.
drop
Oh,
kick
hey,
everybody.
maybe we should set up a new track for Swing Galaxy.
Exactly.
Use the gun. Your attempts disqualified from that point on. Highest score. You know what?
Definitely be a low.
Somebody's going to suggest it. I swear to God.
There should be a low score elevator.
I agree. I wasn't going to say it, but thank you, Glenn, for saying it.
No problem, buddy. Yeah, Phil. There was a
score is always the most important thing.
Oh God.
Phil in the chat wants to know something about the CDI. Wasn't there a horrible Zelda title for the CDI? In fact, there is 3.
Yeah.
And I know somebody that owns all 3 of them, and they go for like $200 a piece on eBay.
Did you guys know that Philips sued? I haven't checked up on it. Maybe I'll do it here on the internet. Philips sued Nintendo this past year for the Wii U.
Really?
For the technology. I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Really?
That sucks.
I think like back in '95, they had an idea for
CDI was supposed.
No, it was supposed to be the Nintendo CD, which is. Glenn, is Hotel Mario shitty?
You know what? I don't mind. I actually there'll be some nights where I'm all like, it's definitely one of the better CDI games.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's not a complete garbage.
Yeah, I remember the Angry Video Game Nerd did a thing. He played Hotel Mario and he played the 3 Zelda games. All the way through.
The Angry Video Game Nerd also over-exaggerates a lot of things.
Well, yeah.
No, I know that, but I mean, you at least get to see the gameplay when he's playing. I mean, that's my only experience with him. I'd never heard of him.
He is right in his review. Like, the doors kind of hard to get used to. Like, the elevators. More or less the controls.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a CDI game with good controls, so...
That's not surprising. Well, if a game has good controls, the Angry Video Game Nerd isn't going to review it. So
yeah, pretty much. Unless it's Mario 3. Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw that episode.
No.
It's more creativity.
What was your final score on that, Wagner?
95 and change. Not what I wanted to accomplish in front of a live audience.
No, not for the score of over 100,000.
We'll do okay on the next one if we have time.
I think we do.
We got time.
We got.
We definitely got time for that 150, baby.
Yeah, that was the disappointing first game, but we'll be all right. Warm up.
Yeah, but my understanding, what I know about elevator action is when you start it for the second time, it's completely different.
Yeah, all of the guys turn into bullet beetles, and you can't use your gun anymore.
I ran a pattern my first game, and it didn't work. So
you got to restart the system, so it's pattern.
Love it.
Now, how many quarters have you used so far, Wagner?
Say what?
How many quarters have you used so far?
Have I used right now?
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just the one. That's pretty.
I've used like 4.
No. We're asking. Glenn, you didn't use any quarters. You're playing on MAME. We know that. Nick is asking, did you actually put in any quarters?
That is where I was going.
Do you have it set up on free play, or do you have it set up on
quarters? Are you trying? I mean, it's a money making still.
Use it as a savings account.
Yeah.
Time you play, you put a quarter. Half the quarter.
I think it's a good idea.
Turn it off free play.
That it means something.
At least you're saving money.
Yeah. The only way to save money is to spend money. I learned that from Yahoo, okay?
Okay.
That wasn't... I know we joked when he said that. There was an article on Yahoo that said that was awesome. And it was about elevator action.
It was, yeah. Well, you can't go to the elevator unless you have...
Yeah. It's a good way, too. We're like, I can't find any quarters. Well, I guess I can't play tonight, you know?
Yeah. Gotta save money.
Gotta save money, man.
Can't use my gun in the hallway.
Yeah, Wagner's too good though. I mean, that's like a crappy way to save money though.
Yeah, he's not going to put that many quarters in. Where if Glenn put a quarter,
oh my God, he could retire in 2 years.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
And you know who to call for retirement, right, hey, Glenn?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what's funny is
little plug.
when I went down to John Hunter's place, he has a arcade in his basement, and they found me the next morning passed out next to the Centipede cab. I like literally stayed in his basement cave and like played games till I passed out, and just like fell asleep on the floor.
Sleeping with a bottle of Jim Beam.
No, I wasn't drinking that night.
Oh shit! Wow. That's
because I'd been up for like 36 hours. I like drove down there. Drove halfway.
Was
that like a 9-hour drive?
Was it that weekend?
What's that, Mike?
When was that?
Like a year ago.
Oh.
He did it last weekend too. But
I got off work at like 9 o'clock, and I didn't leave town till midnight. Got to Ottumwa at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we ended up getting there at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Sounds horrible.
And then I like stayed up till like, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning playing arcade games.
Oh my god, dude.
You are hardcore, dude.
Hell, the first time I ever went to Ottumwa, I'd been up for 24 hours and then drove down there.
God.
And then stayed up that whole night, and then went the next morning to set up for the grassroots event.
Oh, cool.
And didn't sleep that day either.
Good old Ottawa. Ottumwa.
O-Town, as the natives call it.
Why couldn't Walter live just like somewhere else, like Chicago?
I know,
or even Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, but Ottumwa has chills.
All right, we're not getting to that conversation.
Come on.
No chills conversation tonight.
No, you're gonna screw up. You're gonna screw up his elevator act. He's gonna quit the stream because he doesn't want to hear about that.
Yeah, like maybe not Chicago, but like maybe even an hour outside of Chicago or something, or outside of Milwaukee or Baltimore.
Yeah, outside of Milwaukee where there's nothing.
But at least you could go to Milwaukee.
For you Steven Wagner fans who are joining us watching his elevator action play, if you're looking for a collectible item, there is. Mr. Wagner has his own trading card, 2011 Superstars. Yes, me and him are in the same set.
Nice.
Card number 158, Series C. So if you'd like to get it, I don't know where you can get it, but there is a trading card out there for your world record holder of elevator action.
And if you send it to him, he will sign it and send it back.
Maybe, I don't know. Ask him.
I was just speaking for him.
Okay. All right, will you do autographs, Mr. Wagner?
Do I?
Yes.
Yeah, just for a nominal fee.
That's what I figured. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing's free in life.
What if I just sent you it with a self-addressed return envelope?
That's right. I need that return envelope.
And a $5
bill.
Oh my God!
Take the $5, never mail the card back.
Throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Return envelope or riot?
What?
What was that?
Return envelope.
I don't know. You keep breaking up.
Glenn,
I wasn't a superstar till 2012, man.
You're behind me and
no,
making up for lost time.
So, back to world record. Is there going to be there might not be. I don't know. Is there going to be a Game Genie section?
Twin
Galaxies. Yeah.
I don't know. Community wants it.
And I feel like because when I put Game Genie on for Mario 3, I am so awesome at that game.
Yeah, I think the majority is.
When are they gonna make a Game Genie for arcade machines?
What?
When are they
Game
gonna
Genie?
make a Game Genie for arcade machines? I mean, it's been 30 years. I can't think of the technology.
Yeah, come on.
You know, something just kind of in the, in the motherboard or something. I don't know.
No.
Like at least on the Neo Geos, some have memory cards. You can put like a
Yeah,
Game Genie into those. You know.
What about a Game Genie for like Xbox? You like put something that attaches to the CD or something?
No, there's memory card slots, or just install it on your hard drive.
I want it to be a physical thing.
I know
that you put on top of the CD.
Oh, you want one of the expansion ports?
Yeah.
Of the Game Genie. Yeah.
So it looks like your Xbox is pregnant with technology.
Exactly.
It needs to look like the 32X.
Oh, dude, imagine if they would have made a Game Genie for the 32X. That would be so awesome.
You have a 32X Sega CD game with Game Genie on top
Game
of it.
Genie.
It'd be like 50 feet tall.
Oh, that'd be sweet looking.
Well, I'm reading Steve's card here. Despite his devotion to classic arcade gaming, he still finds time for guitar playing, watching sports, and especially reading baseball biographies.
Hey, sweet, man.
Love it.
He's a Cardinals fan. Not that
That's fine.
Brewers fans, don't hold that against him.
Hey, we're from
He's a good
Detroit,
guy.
and they won that year.
All those Brewers fans out there.
Hey, they're still in first.
Yeah, they are.
Not until the postseason, until the Cardinals destroy our hopes and dreams like they do every time.
If the Cardinals make it, which they will, but
Which they will. Yeah.
they always do.
I hope so.
I hope not. God.
Hey, as a lifelong Cubs fan, trust me, I hate.
Oh my God, the Cubs?
Yeah, I know. We got into this argument in Milwaukee.
Yes, we did, and we're about ready to get into it again.
Yeah, I know. It's I mean I'm from Detroit. Love the Tigers, obviously #1, but
Yeah, right. The Cubs are number
I
one.
do
You're
love
just a closet.
I love the Cubs fan. Yeah, it's hard to be a Cubs fan, as anyone who's ever watched baseball can tell you, but freaking Cubs. Hey, they're not as bad as everyone thinks they are this year.
See, if anybody wants to leave a really bad first impression when they meet me, just tell me you're a Cubs fan. Like
I'm glad that was like the last thing I said to you.
Yeah, because I'd been like, man, I don't know if I want to hang out with this guy.
It was because I had bought all that Cubs memorabilia at whatever gas station Chicago was we were at. And you were like, what the hell is this shit? Like, what is a Cubs? You're not a Cubs fan? I was like, oh yeah, of course you're not a Cubs fan. You're a Brewers fan and you hate the Cubs. Duh.
Yep. #1 hated team is the Cubs. It goes to the Yankees and the Cardinals.
Really? I mean, because I hate the Red Sox more than anything. I always assumed the Red Sox and the Yankees were #1 loved and hated.
I can deal with the Red Sox.
See, God, I fucking hate the Red Sox. I do.
I like how Mike was reading the back of Steven's card, and it's like, baseball? Let's talk baseball.
It's so pathetic.
Actually, they chimed in about baseball. I was going to ask Steve what type of cards.
No, it's good.
It is. It's uplifting.
Yeah, I like it.
For killing people.
Yeah. He's not killing them. He's stunning them.
He's stunning them.
Yeah.
They disappear and stuff. They have a seizure on the ground and disappear.
Yeah, exactly. He puts them away nicely.
Do you guys think our broadcast will be muted today?
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about
Because
that.
forgot. Well, we're not going to tell Mr. Wagner to turn down his volume on his arcade machine, but
How about that?
I'm curious if YouTube or Google is going to pick up on that. We'll find out. We should start taking bets on what gets flagged and what doesn't. We'll put something together.
Yeah. I don't think Taito is going to put up a big stink about elevator action.
I don't know. We'll find out. Google will say that they made it.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how they go down.
Down already? Some portions are already blocked. Man.
Damn.
Man. That's just how the world is.
Yeah, I know.
What are you at now, Steve?
47 change. Still a bit early.
Now, I've heard some people say that the AI in elevator action will actually learn from you. Like, if you duck a lot of shots, they'll start making shots slower.
Yeah, the AI is pretty complicated, I think, in this game a little bit. Unless it's just random.
You're not going to just stay in one elevator and point scab?
Not too much. A little bit. I actually have a score in mind at the top of that area, usually for every building, and once I get to it, I pretty much stop, because if that alarm goes off, you're in pretty bad shape. How about that move?
That's how Rudy did it on the NES, is he sat in one elevator and just killed enemies over and over. Just scabbed the first level.
Would you call it leeching, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to know the facts.
You're not progressing through the game.
Well, see, that's how I feel about Donkey Kong.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's a timer on Donkey Kong.
Yeah, still, you're not progressing.
On the NES version, he's able to play like that till the game glitches out and runs out of memory.
Okay, all right. Give you that.
Like
now,
Phil
what
said,
exactly? I mean, what exactly are you carrying that is just so alluring to these guys?
It's the top secret files, man.
Man,
dude, it's an arcade game.
I'm just curious. I want to kind of know what the backstory is.
Everything is an echo, all right?
I know the stories in Echo are they're unbelievable.
So compelling.
They really are compelling.
Rudy's going to expose people, and you need to get the files back before he does. That was a good one.
I got Steve to laugh.
Yeah, the story for that Echo Defender of the Future is pretty incredible.
On the video game collectors database, nobody has liked Steve's trading.
What?
So guess what I'm doing right now?
What?
I'm like, Steve's trading card has never been liked on the video game database.
What?
Yeah, I just liked it.
What about mine? Mine's probably got like 5 thumbs down.
Yours doesn't even show up in the Google search, dude.
Nice.
I'm joking with you, dude.
I was hoping it didn't.
Problem is, Stephen Wagner trading. There's a hockey player named Stephen Wagner.
Is there?
Yeah. Plays for Boston.
No shit.
Yeah, I think there's a defenseman, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
He's a young kid, too. Here you are. Oh, no.
You got it.
Oh, this guy in attached.
nice playing a game other than Donkey Kong and Zookeeper. That's what I've been practicing as of late.
Yeah, you gotta have some variety.
Well, I'll grind out like a couple games of Donkey Kong, then switch over to Zookeeper for a little bit, and go back to grinding out games.
Have you been beating Jace's scores? Jace Hall?
You know, on average, me and Jace score like around the same. But I also did a 2 million point jump, so
Yep,
there you go.
What do you got to do? 30 of those to break the world record?
You got to do a lot more than 30.
I thought it was only 60 million.
No, 80.
80 million?
Yeah.
No. Only 40. You can do it. Have faith.
I've never seen any gamer in my entire life more universally hated than the guy that has the record for Zookeeper.
Who is it?
Lexmark.
I don't even know.
Who? What's the name?
Thursday?
It's John. He goes by John Lexmark on the forums.
Like the printer?
Yes.
Yes, like the printer.
Cool.
That's not his real name.
Oh. I always assume all of these names are.
9 million.
I like how the most troll-worthy threads in the history of gaming forums starts off with that guy just asking which version of MAME he should use. And then 86 pages later.
Why do people dislike him so much?
Because he's very mean to people.
Oh, okay. For the usual reasons.
That's normal.
Have you ever met the guy?
He lives in New Zealand.
We should take a road trip.
He lives in New Zealand. His records don't even count. Then.
Oh, shut up. They're PAL records.
Yeah, exactly. They're PAL records. It's different.
He absolutely refuses to show anybody his gameplay.
Oh, awesome.
I wonder what that means.
Yep. Direct
cheating.
Direct cheating.
You know you all don't cheat out there.
So a lot of you. Maybe not the majority, but the plurality.
What I think we should do, Nick, is we should make our own game. We should make an arcade cabinet. Our computer built into it that will run all the games.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I can just imagine
God, that'd be awesome.
making the side art for the arcade machine.
That right there. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
It'd be all nice and blue and aqua colors.
God, it'd be just... you imagine that?
Marky D and Ben both know who I'm talking about in the chat. I think they've had run-ins with them before.
Ooh, in the street? Or at the arcade?
Like the back alley?
The back alley. Where all them brawls go down.
Oh, yeah. What? No, go ahead. It was...
Mine's just informational. Go ahead.
Oh, no, yours actually has information.
Not really.
Yes.
Hey, Glenn, who's on next week's broadcast?
Don't know yet.
Good plug.
Oh, we don't?
Good plug.
I thought we did. Is it Ben coming on?
The Donkey Kong opens next week, so...
Oh. So some of our planned guests are not going to make it?
Yeah, the original guests kind of...
Maybe me and Nick will find somebody that we... on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I already got a couple people that are interested.
Cool.
Whoever says...
I thought we had a definite.
First.
That's why I asked that question. It's my bad. Bad prepping.
With a shot.
Well, we'll be on next week at 7:30, not 7.
But I know sometime after the Donkey Kong Open, Ross wants to get in on here to play some Zookeeper.
Oh, sweet.
He has the meme world record with 49 million.
The following week.
He said anytime after the Donkey Kong Open that he's free.
Okay. For sure.
Hey, is it true? And I don't know if this is true or not, but is it true that Echo was a spinoff of Zookeeper?
What?
Because I mean, after Echo got out of the zoo.
No way, man.
No, I had heard that from someone.
I call it Troll Keeper. That game cheats.
All video.
All programmed.
Oh man, he shot me right in the back of the head. Point blank.
Now I genuinely want to play elevator action. Actually.
Yeah, game looks cool.
You know, that game actually looks really fun.
It is fun. I can't believe you haven't played it before.
No, maybe I'll get an NES version or MAME. We actually have a. I gotta go upstairs and find it, but we have a emulator for the Dreamcast. Plays all arcade
so
games
awesome.
and all NES games. It's awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, just Google. If you have a Dreamcast, it's way better than playing on a PC. I'm sorry.
No, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah, but I can't use my control panel for it. For the arcade games.
Yeah, you get to use something better. A Dreamcast controller.
You get to use a Dreamcast controller.
Which is way better.
No way, man.
Yes, way.
I gotta play arcade games with the joystick. I'm sorry.
No way.
No way.
Yes, way.
Joystick.
Same
That's
thing with
cheating.
my NES games.
It's cheating.
This is an Atari we're talking about. You can't just hook up Genesis controllers.
Yes, you most definitely can.
Yeah.
I've done it before,
Oh,
and
man.
it's awesome. The only way to play bump and jump.
The only way, huh?
Or Pele Soccer. Which is a very underrated soccer game. Never gets mentioned.
Gets an honorable mention, huh?
Mention, yeah.
How it could be any more rudimentary.
You know what next week's episode is going to be about.
Yeah, don't worry. If we can't get anyone, don't worry. I have so much stuff to talk about.
No, we can get some. Like I said, I got a couple people already.
I got a couple mammals.
Yeah, I got a couple mammals that are definitely dying to be on the show. I wonder if there's a world record holder out there for Echo.
I'd fastest completion. I guarantee there is.
Yeah.
Echo the Dolphin.
It was a huge game. One of the biggest games of the 90s.
Steve, is there anything you're gunning for lately on any other games?
Not really. I just got done playing that online tournament. That was run by Retro Uprising. That was fun. Found some new games that I kind of dug, so that was always good.
That's cool.
Nothing in the world of arcade world records, though.
No. I was trying Crazy Climber for a while, but then I smashed the game a little bit too hard. And...
Totally understand.
Yeah, that game pisses me off, man. So
that game cheats. That game probably cheats more than any other game.
Crazy Climber is the worst cheating game like ever.
Meltdown.
Oh, there's questions out there?
We have a question for Nick.
Oh.
Because How is Echo related to Zookeeper?
Well,
how is it a sequel of Zookeeper?
I am very. Who asked the question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't.
No, it's not. It's not a big deal. As everyone knows, certain zoos out there have aquariums, and a lot of some of these aquariums. There's only a couple, probably, and not probably in the world that contain dolphins in them. So what happened is obviously Echo deserves to be free. As you know, dolphins are mammals and we are mammals. So once Echo got out of the zoo, which the zookeeper was keeping him in there against his will, and Echo you don't want to mess with Echo. So once Echo got out of the zoo, I mean, it took a while, which is why the sequel didn't happen for a long time. But obviously Echo got out of the zoo. Zookeeper's nowhere to be found, and that's why the game, especially the first one, doesn't really have like a point to it. It's just Echo free. So he got out of the zoo, and then you just get to watch Echo just swim free, and you get to be happy for Echo.
That would be a great theory and everything, but there's no dolphins in Zookeeper.
Oh,
sorry.
We're arguing semantics at this point.
Originally when the designers designed Zookeeper, they had a sprite, but it was just too much memory to.
Yeah, they said the Echo sprite in Zookeeper was literally a little bit more than the entire rest of the game for Zookeeper.
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean, it's a dolphin.
It's a dolphin. I mean, and it was a very realistic dolphin. I mean, it's like the Echo that they were going to come out for 32X.
Yep.
Steve got 117,000.
117,000.
Dang, dude.
Crazy. That's crazy. On this game, nuts. We got less.
Yeah, my machine was loud. I didn't hear a lot of the banter, so I apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it. You missed a lot of good stuff, really. I don't remember any of it, but.
Yeah, I probably my top was 27 tonight.
Getting there, man.
Getting there. I've done better.
Dude, that's not bad.
It's not bad. No. Thanks for the performance, Steve, and thanks for being on the show. Sure. I'm a little discouraged. I was hoping you'd go back for the Bosconian. Well, you need a machine, right?
That would be beneficial. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it usually helps to have a game.
If I sent you my machine, would you go for it?
Sent you the machine?
Yeah, I reckon I could try. If you send me the machine.
All right.
Are you going to be inside of the machine?
Ooh, I could come with the package.
Could be the ghost in the
machine. It is a cocktail table. We can both take turns.
What the? Yeah.
Well,
the cocktail table's only it's only got the controller on one side, right? When on the cocktail.
No, dude.
Oh, it's 2-player.
Well, I mean, it has one fire button, right, for each side.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a left and a right. It's a little bit harder. It makes no sense. You shoot with your left and you control with your right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to cross-hand it.
Yeah, exactly. You learn how to do it though.
Now you right-handed people know my pain.
Are you lefty, man?
Yeah, I can't. That's why I can't play Millipede or Centipede.
No shit.
Yeah, because I have to cross-hand it.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. That sucks.
Yep. Well, thanks, Steve. We're gonna be out of here shortly. So
yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
and
Thanks for having me.
And hopefully we'll see you around competing. Obviously, you go to Fun Spot all the time still. So
are you gonna be at the Kong off?
Yeah, it's gonna be in my backyard this year. Not literally, but figuratively. Probably about an hour away. So heck yeah.
I'm planning on going too this year.
Nice.
Cool. Well, for my host, Glen Updike on the Skype channel number 2, my other host, Nick Houslander, and myself, Michael Sroka, thank you for joining us. We will be here next week at 7:30 Pacific Time, 10:30 Pacific Time. We'll be following our new show, one of the creators, and we'll see you next time for sure. See ya.
See you, everybody.
See ya.